Have you ever thought that a quiet cleaning lady could change the fate of an entire hospital? Grace had worked the late shift at City General Hospital for 8 years. She slipped through the empty corridors before dawn, mopping floors and wiping counters. Patients and doctors barely noticed her. She liked it that way. One night, after the lights went out, she was finishing up near the chief surgeon's office. She leaned against the door to rest, just for a second, and heard voices inside. "I want her gone by tomorrow," said a calm, decisive male voice. "We need to cut costs. The cleaner is expendable. Make it look legitimate." Grace froze. Cost-cutting meant losing her job. And without her paycheck, her son Jack, 6 years old, diabetic, wouldn't get his medicine. The next morning, Grace did her rounds as usual. She greeted the night nurse with a smile. Inside, her heart felt heavy. She couldn't let Jack suffer. That afternoon, she found a quiet corner in the records room. She'd scrounge up whatever proof she could. Over the next 2 days, she collected discarded paperwork. Billing statements, invoices, supply orders. She took photos with her old phone. Late one evening, she tucked herself behind a filing cabinet just outside the surgeon's suite. When Dr. Alan Sullivan and his assistant came out, Grace raised her phone and recorded every word. "Make sure nobody knows why she's fired," Sullivan said, "and switch the signatures. No questions." Grace's hands shook. She paused the recording, heart pounding. That night, she risked one more trip, this time to Sullivan's private archive. The door was unlocked. Inside, she found spreadsheets showing that cleaning costs had been slashed by 50%. But money was vanishing elsewhere, in consulting fees for Sullivan's personal accounts. Her stomach churned as she copied the files onto a flash drive. The next morning, Grace walked into the hospital's accounting office. She handed the head accountant a small envelope. "You need to see this," she said softly. He glanced up. Then he watched the video. His face went ashen. Within an hour, the board of directors was in emergency session. Grace was escorted into the conference room. She handed her phone to the board chair and played the recordings. Silence fell. All eyes were on Dr. Sullivan. He tried to speak, but his voice caught. The evidence was undeniable. He'd schemed to fire her, forge signatures, embezzle funds. The board voted to remove him on the spot and launched a full audit. As the director called security, the stunned surgeons shuffled out. Then Grace did something no one expected. She reached into her coat pocket and pulled out a neat bundle of papers. Her old surgical license, certificates, dozens of recommendation letters. "Before I cleaned these halls," she said quietly, "I was Dr. Grace Miller, trauma surgeon, but someone forged patient records to ruin me. You all believed his lies. I lost my license and my career." She met their eyes one by one. "I took this job to survive, to keep my son alive. I never forgot how to care for people." The room was still. Then the board chair stood and applauded. Others joined in. In minutes, messages flew out. Dr. Miller's license would be restored. An independent review would clear her name. The audit would ensure justice. That evening, Grace walked home in the cool breeze. Jack ran to her, smiling. She hugged him tight. At dinner, she whispered, "Everything's going to be okay now." He looked up, relieved. She reached into her pocket and showed him the flash drive. "We did this," she said. Jack grinned. "You're my hero, Mom." Grace closed her eyes, tears of relief falling. She thought of the silent halls where she'd once felt invisible. Now she knew one person, no matter her uniform or station, could expose the truth and save lives. And as she turned off the kitchen light, she heard a gentle click behind her. But this time it wasn't a warning. It was the lock on their front door, securing their new future.